What's up, Earth Rockers? It's your boy Shovatar, back to talk more about Castlevania Bloodlines, the game for the Sega Genesis, because Genesis wouldn't intend Genesis. Here we're going to be doing Expert Mode. Expert Mode, for the most part, Expert Mode is this game's hard mode, just to make it absolutely clear. You probably could have guessed that, but I just wanted to make sure you understood what I was talking about. Expert Mode, for the most part, is kind of like Super Castlevania 4 Hard Mode, in that it doesn't really change the game too much. It's mostly just like a few extra enemies here and there, and then like, and that's it. But there are a couple of big changes that get made in the late game that really do fundamentally change the nature of the game and do make Expert Mode much more difficult and probably the hardest thing to do deathless that I can imagine. Specifically, the problems, the changes that are made in Expert Mode are, here I'm desperately trying not to get hit so I can keep my lightning whip, and I actually paused for a second there because I was considering just restarting the fucking run after that, because that was just like so stupid. And I really wanted the lightning whip for this room, because on Expert Mode there's one more ghost that you have to deal with. And I just wanted to have the lightning attack to like kill it quickly. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, the big changes that are made in Expert Mode that make the game a lot harder are a couple of parts in level 4, which I'll be talking about when I get to them, and then the big one is that in level 6 there is no healing. If you watch the normal mode video that I did, you'll remember that the death fight, the death has like 6 cards, and one of the cards that you can pick heals you to full. That card is not there in Expert Mode. So that means that in Expert Mode, you gotta do the start of level 6 all the way to the end of the game, all the way through the whole entire Dracula fight without any healing. And that is a harrowing proposition right there. Another thing that I didn't really point out explicitly about this game when I was talking about the normal mode is how many more like boss fights there are in this game compared to other Castlevania games, where there's a couple like mid bosses in 3, and then I don't remember. And then there's a couple in 4, and then I think there aren't any in X or Rondo that I can recall. Bloodlines, though, there's like mid bosses all over the fucking place. I think every level, if I'm remembering correctly, almost every level has one. 3 doesn't have any, and then, but every other level does, unless you don't count. I mean, depending on how you count level 6. I guess you would say level 6 doesn't have any. So I don't really have anything to say about that. It's just something that I wanted to point out because I didn't point it out before. I like it. You know, I like boss fights. This is the first big Expert Mode difference you'll notice is the bats flying across the screen. We're back in Castlevania 3, baby. We're back in hard mode. Just throwing more bats at you. But this is I actually approve of this, because unlike the Super Castlevania 4 bats, which are just ambush bats, these are like consistently respawning bats that, instead of just like coming out of nowhere and taking off a chunk of your health, make you like think more about the room and make you interact with what's going on in a way that's different. So I don't have a problem with that. It's just the way things are. And here I really don't want to lose the lightning axe, or the lightning whip rather, so I'm trying to play pretty cautiously. This guy goes down. Yeah, level 1, except for that one room with the bats, is really not too different on hard mode, or on expert mode, I should say. I should use the proper terminology. There actually is an interesting thing to do with expert mode coming up here, where you'll notice in a second the Bone Dragon is going to have like a different weird pattern. Doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, in normal mode he kind of like is like consistently facing towards you, and this one he like spins around, but it doesn't really matter because the fact that he's doing that means half the time he's just going to shoot a fireball behind you, or like behind him, and it's just not going to like hit you. So I think they were like trying to make him trickier there, but it didn't actually really end up making a difference. Another thing that I really want to point out about this mode and this game and this video is that this is a 1cc. And I said before in my Dracula X video that, you know, some games in the series are easier to 1cc than others. I think the big one is 4, Like 4 is really easy to 1cc because you start off with 5 lives, and there's like 1-ups everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but there are 1-ups in the game, and then you can also get extra lives from points. And then in Dracula X and Rondo, you can get extra lives from getting no damage bonuses off the bosses. So it's like those games are like hard to 1cc, like in a like generally speaking baseline. But sort of if you're looking at them along like the Castlevania difficulty curve, they have these mechanics in place to give you extra chances, give you extra lives. So 1ccing like Dracula X or Rondo especially is not that hard. Comparatively speaking, of course. Bloodlines, however, there's no damage bonuses for beating a boss at full health, and also there are points, but the points don't give you extra lives. That means that you get 3 lives at the start, and then there's I think maybe 3 1-ups available throughout the entire game that I know of, and one of them is really risky to get, which I'll talk about later. So you only have like 6 lives at absolute maximum if you get all the 1-ups, and really most of the 1-ups are tricky to get. Like the one that I got on level 1, I don't know if you noticed me getting it, but I got one. That one's fine. That one's super easy to get. You just have to jump and whip at the right time. There's a 1-up available here in this level, which I don't remember if I get or not, because it's kind of in a weird place. It's in a torch. But like by the time the torch is on the screen, you're like really close to the water, so you have to like try to hit the torch like when it spawns before it shows up on the screen. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. And here I panic and I don't hit it, and it's that torch right there, the one on the pillar. That's where the 1-up is. I was trying to get it, but I was too far up the stairs because I was too worried about the water, and I didn't get it. I think what you're intended to do there to try to get that is to swing across that gap with Chad, or do a super jump up with Alucard. Alucard, I mentioned Alucard in my last video, but he's like the other playable character. Chad can swing around on ceilings, like using the whip, and then Alucard has like a super jump which shoots him directly upwards. So I think that's what you're supposed to do. So like trying to throw the axe at it and get it to like fall down on you is kind of maybe not the right move. Although the way that I learned that was there by I got it by accident. Like I threw an axe and the axe like happened to hit it. And then I fell down. I was like, oh, that's there. So the fact that I didn't get that 1-up, if I was really worried, I might have like restarted the run right there, because here's the thing: the fact that there's no healing in level 6 means that unless you play like an absolute god, you are practically guaranteed to die, because you got to do the whole of level 6, and the death boss, and the death boss rush where as you fight the earlier bosses, and the death boss, and the Medusa fight, and the Dracula fight, with 1 life bar. And the Medusa fight is pretty easy to do without taking any damage. You might get like clipped here and there, but the death fight is tricky, and the like upside down part of level 6 is tricky. But again, I'm going to talk about that more when we get there. And do I die here? I don't remember if I die here or not. I think I do. I know I died on this part in one of my videos, or in one of my attempts, and I don't remember if this is the one or not. Because this is like, I mean, this is the kind of thing that can always kill you, like bottomless pits, Medusa heads. Now I seem like I'm doing okay. Okay, maybe I don't die here. Okay, all right. I guess I think I'm fine. All right, maybe that happens later then, because that would have been really bad. Dying like not getting that 1-up in level 2 and dying here is like a really awful combination. And I should be fine for the rest of the okay, all right, I'm good. All right. Sorry, I still was not 100% convinced that I wasn't going to die there. Yeah, and the rest of this level shouldn't be a problem. There's a meet coming up here pretty soon, and all these guys are pretty easy to fight. So I'm in pretty smooth waters here. Pretty smooth sailing, pretty easy waters. You destroy a priceless work of art, but who gives a shit? Probably made by a bunch of nerds too, who are probably gay. So who cares? And yeah, so Bloodlines more than any other game, a 1cc is really a significant challenge, where it's like you only get so many chances, and in order to get extra chances, you really have to take a big risk. I don't think I wanted to pick up that holy water there. I don't really know. I think that was an accident. Or maybe it wasn't. No, because I don't think the axe would necessarily reach those guys. So maybe this is intentional. This is like the one place in the entire game where the holy water is useful. Also, notice how many holy water shots it took to kill those things. That was like 5. This is what I mean when I say that every game after 3 has just like nerfed the holy water into the fucking ground. Where it's like, not only is its range barely larger than the whip, but it like doesn't do any fucking damage either. It's actually like, kind of irritating, the fact that it's so bad. I mean, I would agree that it was too good in 1 and in 3, with its ability to like stun lock like cheese bosses. Like, I agree that's too good, but like you didn't have to make it fucking worthless in all the other games, you know what I mean? Like there's a balance you could attain. I don't know, maybe I wanted it specifically for that guy down there to like throw down on him, but I feel like the axe might have been able to hit him too. I don't know. I also don't know what the holy water's like special attack is. But I noticed like if you hit up and the dedicated sub-weapon button the Bloodlines have, it does like a different attack. I don't actually know what the holy water's like special attack is. So maybe it has like a really good special attack that I just never learned about, because I never used it. Like, I barely ever used the holy water. Because it's not good. This boss, I pretty much already talked about this boss. It's not really... there's no, like... There doesn't seem to be any difference in, like, the damage you take, or in, like, the boss health between normal and hard mode. The boss fights seem like they're the same. I can't tell the difference. It's possible they do more damage to you, but I don't really know. Because it's not like, because I want to say you just have more... Part of what makes it difficult to judge is that you have more health in general in Bloodlines. Like, I think I'm looking at 20 up there, like 20 health points, whereas in the other Castlevania games you had like 16. So it was very easy to tell when you like what multiples of damage you were taking. Whereas with this, it's like I can't really tell. Meat seems to still heal you for about 10 squares of life though, 10 rectangles. I don't know. And Bloodlines is a game where damage is important, because you can actually die to damage because health is so scarce. Yeah, the score, the fact that, like, I don't know, I don't get it. I don't get why the score is in this game, because if points don't give you extra lives, there's no, and it's not like an arcade game or an Atari game, there's no, like, point. Anyway, here we are in level 3. The first of multiple levels without healing, and I actually kind of don't want the lightning sub-weapon here, because having the axe to deal with these harpies is really nice. Another thing that I should point out, actually, because this took me a long time to figure out, is that every Castlevania game awards aggression, but because Bloodlines is so blast processed and testosterone fueled, it really emphasizes aggression more than anything else. Like, killing those harpies, unless you get right in their face as quickly as possible, is really hard. Another thing that's really hard is, shit. God, I do that so often in these games, right? I'll accidentally walk up into turret shots, and that was 4 damage, so that's 1/5 of my health gone for the rest of the entire level off of that one mistake. And then another 5 damage, so I have lost half my health already, and I have to go through the rest of the entire level without losing any more health. Although, this is a 1cc, so I can die at some point here, if I have to. Thing is, I really don't want to, like... This isn't a case of, like... Okay, so I have 4 lives right now, right? But the thing is that I really actually only have 3 lives, because dying on level 6 is a foregone conclusion. Like, I'm gonna die on level 6. I can't get through all that shit without dying. It's just not gonna happen, unless I play so far out of my mind that it just defies all mortal, logic and reasoning, which is sort of like not, which is basically not going to happen. So if I get to level 6 with 1 life, like I'm not going to restart the game or anything, like I'm going to give myself a chance, but I'm not expecting, my plan is to get to level 6 with at least 2 lives, if not more. So I can't die, I can only die twice before level 6. I can't die 3 times before level 6, even though I do have 4 lives. So that's kind of another thing that makes this 1cc tricky, but I also like it because it's the kind of thing that I talked about before, where your performance in the rest of the game matters. Like, the better I play the earlier levels, the better my chances are going to be going into the last level where it's the trickiest. So I do like that, even though I don't necessarily like the idea of dying being a foregone conclusion. I do like at least that you're able to mitigate that problem. And here I actually kind of don't want the lightning whip, because my strategy for the gargoyle segment coming up is to use the axe. But fortunately, I think there's an axe right nearby here, so that shouldn't be a problem. These mummies are actually killable. I'm surprised actually at how like cooperative those mummies are when it comes to dying. Like the fact that you can like hit their ankles from beneath them and they just die is really remarkable to me. So this is pretty good. These gargoyles are usually never going to hit me because the plan that I have for killing them is very consistent and it's pretty easy to pull off. The only thing really that I could see myself being worried about at this point is the boss, because the boss is pretty tricky. The game does like those horizontal lines on the tower. I wonder if that's my fault that they're there. Can you see that shit happening? I wonder if that's like a visual setting that I should have tried to fuck with to get rid of, or if that's just like an inevitable consequence of how it looks. I don't know. I don't really think too hard about the little settings you can tweak in these games. I probably should. Like, this aspect ratio is probably wrong. That's probably why Chad looks like he has the upper body of a gorilla, or maybe he's supposed to look like that. I don't know. But I wasn't really thinking about aspect ratio at the time that I was playing these games. It wasn't really until I got to like the Rondo footage, no, it was the Chronicles footage. But I'm getting like way ahead of myself. I should focus more on the actual gameplay that's happening in front of me. There was a torch back there with an axe in it, and if you have a lightning orb and you pick up a sub-weapon that's the same sub-weapon as you currently have, you'll get the lightning spell back. Lightning might make this guy easier, I don't really know. But the axe works just as well. And the reason that I'm throwing the axe and not horizontal whipping is because, and this is a problem that I had with Super Castlevania 4 too, is that upwards diagonal whipping requires you to press the forward key, obviously, to activate. So it's hard to like jump and then forward whip without also moving forward. And I really don't want to alter my position at all, because my position on this tower is like very precarious, and the further you are towards the edge, the more radically the spinning of the tower is going to move you around. So it's very important for you to control your positioning in this boss fight, and I didn't take any damage. I'm going into level 4 with the lightning whip, and I do a little dance to celebrate. So level 4 is where the other problems with this game, besides the level 6 health issue, come into play. There are a few very big problems with level 6 in expert mode. So the longer I can hold on to this lightning whip, the better. And level 4 is also a place where there's a 1-up, but getting the 1-up involves doing a lot of like whip rope swinging. And I think I sort of elected at the time that I was doing this not to... Oh, I should talk about this actually. If you keep holding right, if you keep holding right the whole time and you go through this first area, the bones like won't hit you, with like one exception. With that guy right there who comes out of the barrel is like the one exception. You have to do something about that guy, but otherwise if you just hold right the whole time, they won't hit you. There, I like fucked up and I hesitated. Excuse me, and that's why I got hit. But uh, and lost the lightning. So don't even get through the first stage with the lightning whip. Oh well. And I think that there's actually 2 1-ups in level 4. I think one of them I'm gonna get, and the other one I'm not gonna get. Here I'm trying to throw the axe down at that guy down there who's like barely visible. I think there's another guy up here. No, there's just the meat up here. Okay. And now I'm going to try to get one of the 2 level 4 1-ups. This might take me a couple tries. Yep. That jump between that platform and that platform is doable, but it's very specific. It's like... It's honestly like more specific than the 7B jump in Dracula's Curse. The difference, of course, is that fucking up the jump doesn't kill you, so you get to watch me fuck up over and over again. So grab some popcorn, folks. We're going to be here for a little bit. Normally I wouldn't. Normally I try to like slow step it, but slow stepping it doesn't seem to like work the way that it does in Dracula's Curse. You just have to kind of do it by muscle memory. So that's what I'm doing here. And normally I wouldn't like waste all this time going for this, but there's a 1-up up there, and this is a 1cc with very, very few available 1-ups, so I gotta take every little advantage that I can get. Up. Okay, there we go. So I did slow step it, slow stepping it actually did work, so good for me. Yeah, that 1-up is fine, that 1-up is safe to get, but there's a second 1-up in this stage that you can only get by doing a lot of whip swinging. And it's, that one I decided was too risky to go for. Because it's like, gaining a life is really important, but losing a life is also a risk that you can't really afford. In my opinion, I don't know. I guess if I really wanted to, I could have practiced it, but to be totally honest with you, like 6 lives for a 1cc, or like 5 lives for a 1cc kind of seems like enough. Like, look at how this fucking guy... Sorry, that guy was just like rapid throwing bones. There was like no fucking gaps there. Look at this shit. Are you seeing this shit? Look at this fucking solid wall of bones. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do there? Except for what I did. You know? Insane. Insane. Look at this fucking asshole. Okay, good. Thank God the axe is so gigantic. And it like barely clipped in there. Yeah, if you swing across the bottom of all those conveyor belts there, you can get to like a little ledge where there's a 1-up, but I just didn't want to do it, man. Oh, here's actually a hard mode difference. There are bats coming across the screen here, but this isn't really as much of an issue because you can... It's kind of like Medusa heads in certain parts of other games, where if you just keep going upwards, they're easy to avoid. Same with the bats. They're running along a set horizontal line, and you just keep moving, eventually they're going to die. I mean, eventually, if you just keep moving, then you will consistently evade them. So here I have another chance to hold on to the lightning whip for the really tricky parts. Really don't want to get hit here. The Medusa head's fucking forehead clips me from underneath the floor, and I lose the lightning whip after having it for about 5 seconds, and then that fucking guy hits me with his extendo stick because I forgot that he could do that. And so this is a disaster, basically. And it might not look like a disaster, but trust me, it's a disaster because this is right before all the really hard parts. And I want to go into them right before all the parts that I want to go into with as much health as I possibly can. So this is really bad. Again, much like how... But you know, in fairness, it's really bad because I made mistakes. You know what I mean? And my mistakes compounded on themselves. So this is the first part that's really hard. In normal mode, there's like 1 or 2 ghosts in this part. In hard mode, in expert mode, there's like 3. And the problem with that is that you can't stop to fight them, and you're going to see why you can't stop to fight them here in just a second, because that's what I do. You have to like keep jumping across these platforms. I think what am I doing? I think I'm trying to bait one of the ghosts, or like bait it into spawning, but eventually I just keep going. Yeah, you really can't. Where do I fuck up? Not here? Oh no, I guess I... Okay. Huh. My memory of this is incorrect then. Okay, this is actually really bad. I shouldn't be taking this much damage, but if I can... Okay, I guess I got through that. I must be misremembering this 1cc. Unless... Okay, well... Anyway, so here's the Frankenstein mini-boss. He's pretty easy, you just have to remember what he does. And you have to not jump too early off of the platform onto the lightning shit on the floor or else you die. And even though 4-7 is a different stage from 4-6, for some fucking reason it sends you back to 4-6. And this is disastrous because, first of all, I really don't want to die here because I haven't even gotten to the really hard part of level 4. And second of all, when you die in this game, it starts you off with 0 gems. It's not like other Castlevania games that start you off with 5. They start you off with 0. So the sub-weapon is like not even usable. And this is where I fucked up because now I'm stuck here, and I have to try to like I can't. I don't know. I don't think that jump is makeable to the left there, to the right there, and you can't really jump back to the left. As you can see, it's too far away. So what you have to do here, I think, is like go for a rope swing, which I don't get. I totally fuck it up. I don't even know if you can swing off those platforms, to be honest with you. Obviously, you know, the reason I don't know if you can is because that swing was like completely off the mark. Like, I completely missed the platform. Here I almost get fucking killed again by the ghost. And this is a shit show, what you're watching right here. This is a complete, like... This is a disaster. Yeah, not only do you start off with 0 gems when you die, but you also, of course, don't start off with the fully upgraded whip, so now I have to kill these things with, like, a toothbrush, and I don't have any other weapons that I can use to try to fight them. And you might be thinking I should, like, try to just avoid these guys, let them, like, fuck off and fly around me. Maybe I could do that, but, like, look at that shit. They just fucking hit you from, like, anywhere. I guess I could just be trying to, like, step on the platform, raise the door, go through, and, do it like that, but anyway, yeah, so this is really bad, because I now basically, I can only really die one more time here. Because I need to go into level 6 with, god damn it, dude, just fucking wait. This is, this is really upsetting to watch. Oh god. Okay, I make it there. I wonder if you can sit on the platform right in front of him and keep whipping him when he does the lightning attack. I actually don't know, because it seems like you would be too close to him, doesn't it? I don't know. But this is really bad, and I was expecting to die here because we haven't even gotten to the hard part of level 4. The hard part of level 4 is 4-8, which is gonna, well, not this part of 4-8. This part is annoying. This part's like doable. The hard part is coming up in the next room after this, and that's when I was expecting to, like, because my goal is to get to the hard part of 4-8 with a bunch of gems and with like a bunch of lives. With a bunch of health and a bunch of gems. And now here I am with fucking 3 gems, and I've died like twice, going into the part that I'm actually expecting to kill me. So I have to really, like... I have to fucking pray to God. I have to pray to Jesus in the hopes that I can get out of this. 6-7 gems? That's actually not that bad. Because, like, every 2 or 3 gems that you have is another one of these guys you don't have to actually, like, fight. And so, yeah, this is what makes... Okay, 4-9, not 4-8, sorry. So what makes 4-9 so hard is that there are now bats flying across the screen while you're trying to judge these jumps. But here's what makes it really hard. There's a particular span of time where it's safe to jump down and attack those guys, or jump up and attack those guys with the swing, balls, and chains. And it's like right after they finish attacking. So the problem is that these platforms keep going up and down, which means that you have to, like, god damn it. I can't believe that. Okay, so I barely get through there. Okay, so the reason that's so hard is that the platforms keep going up and down, which means there's only so many times when you can jump on the platforms safely. And then there's also... The platforms have to be in the right place, and the skeletons, the balls, and chains have to be done attacking at the right time. So there's this, like, there's these 2 factors that can create very specific windows where it's acceptable for you to, where it's possible for you to safely attack them. The fact that there are respawning bats flying across the screen creates a 3rd factor, where it's like now there are 3 different things that all have to line up in order for you to safely jump down and hit those guys. And the key is to basically just, like, grab your balls and not give a shit, where, like, you just have to, because you can kill those ball and chain guys like super fast, and hitting them with the whip will like stun them for a second. So you have more of a window than it seems like you do in relation to their attack patterns to attack them safely. That's kind of the trick there. And then I died on this boss because I just like forgot the pattern for the first phase. But I'm just glad I got through 4-9 without dying, to be totally honest with you. Like, I'm pissed off that I died a bunch of times on 4-6, but getting through 4-9 without dying is like... What more can you ask for? And I have 2 lives, so now if I could just get through... If I can get through 5 without dying, and then get through far enough through 6 without dying, then I'm in pretty good shape. Basically, I just want to get through the death fight without dying. I don't want to have to do the death boss rush and Medusa and Dracula all on 1 life bar. I want to, if I can, kill death with the life that I had coming out of the first part of level 6, and then probably die on Dracula, and then be able to do the Dracula fight again with full health. Because the Medusa fight is pretty easy to do while taking minimal damage. Dracula, not so much. That's my basic game plan. Versailles Palace. This level reminds me of a story, like a historical anecdote. It's about King Louis the something 14th or something, his like finance minister. Something. His finance minister built a mansion that was so grandiose that it actually rivaled Versailles, where the king lived. In the end, Louis clapped him in irons. There's a lesson there in that story. Think about that. I like when the fountain turns into blood. That's pretty cool. I don't really know... I don't... Dracula's influence in previous games seems like it's kind of limited to the local area around Transylvania, but here he's fucking everything up. I don't know what that's all about. Look at this shit, man. Yeah, that's how you have to do that. You have to keep those skeletons down while you spend the time to shoot the boomerangs at these monkeys. Normally I would really hope to go into stage 5-2 with a lightning whip, but oh well. You play the hand you're dealt. There's an interesting thing with these chandeliers, which is that maybe I'll do it. I don't think I will though. Okay, no. Yeah, if one of these knights is underneath the chandeliers when it falls, the chandelier will actually kill them. But it's generally not worth trying to deliberately trying to make that happen. It's just kind of a if it happens, it happens thing. Because I think your attention is much better devoted to just safely getting the chandeliers to fall without hitting you, and also keeping distance on the knight. Like there, I got too close to the knight because I was trying to trigger the chandelier to have it fall on him, but I didn't get close enough to trigger it, and then I was too close to the knight when the knight backed up and threw its axe at me. So that was just like, you just shouldn't bother trying to make it happen. If it happens, it happens. Otherwise, just focus on the knight, focus on his axe throws. Don't worry about it, as Tommy Wiseau would say. Interesting incarnation of the axe. Oh, thank God, I do get a lightning whip here. Okay, this is exactly what I want, because this is one of the only ways to kill that fucking guy without taking any damage. I mean, what is happening? What am I? Okay, I don't know what that was about. Oh, this part is also really tricky. I forgot about this. Yeah, so on hard mode, there are ghosts, and the ghosts make this so much harder because you can't. Okay, this is really bad now. The fact that I triggered the lower head means that now I have to stay crouching the entire time and intercept every fireball that comes at me. I can't stand up until this whole tower is down. And this might not seem so bad, but here's the thing. There's a second ghost that I deliberately avoided spawning there, and that's kind of what made that work. If you can only get one ghost to spawn and then very carefully kill it, then that room is pretty much fine. And I didn't use the lightning attack there, because the lightning attack would have hit every turret and triggered every turret and started every turret shooting fireballs at me, so that's why I didn't do that there. That's really a test of your understanding of the the movement patterns of those ghosts, which, like a lot of other enemies, that change their movement depending on whether or not you're facing them. My understanding is not really very good, but there I sort of had to figure it out. And this is a pretty good level 5 so far. Getting that lightning whip when I did was really, really important. I'm waiting for a gargoyle to spawn here, because I don't want him to show up while I'm jumping up the stairs. And now I'm good. Interesting bit of trivia here, which is that if you look at the stained glass windows back there, you can see one of them is actually Pennywise the Clown. I think that's supposed to be indicative of Dracula's like twisted sense of humor. Like instead of like a saint, he put Pennywise in the stained glass windows. He's devious, dude. He's fucked up. He's pretty fucking twisted, I have to say. I would never think to do that. Yeah, this shit is like, I don't know. This shit is kind of annoying, but the good thing is that falling off these stairs doesn't instantly kill you. So, what is happening here? What am I doing? I'm like spazzing out. I don't know why I can't seem to figure this out. What you have to do is just jump on the, yeah, just don't. Yeah, you can't go up those stairs anymore. You just have to like jump. Use the stairs as platforms to jump across. Here I really want the axe because I'm thinking about the level 5 boss, which is made much easier with the axe. The fact that Chad has upwards diagonal whipping when he's jumping also makes it a lot easier. But having the axe, oh, this is funny. So normally when I stop to go use the bathroom in the middle of a run, I don't pause the game. Here I paused the game because like I was just so paranoid that like I was like, if I sit in this room for too long, like are ghosts gonna come out of the pictures on the wall? Like is something gonna happen? I just didn't want to go AFK while the game was running because I didn't know what was gonna happen, which in retrospect is like a fucking ridiculous thing to be worried about. Like there's no fucking way sitting in a room for too long would like make enemies spawn. But like I was just so paranoid, and this run was going like so well after I fucked up level 4 that I just didn't want to lose that um that progress, like no matter what. Like I really didn't want to die here. I didn't even want to take any damage here because I didn't want to lose the lightning whip. So that's why I'm paused here and why it's just like fucking sitting here like this. So this is pretty silly. Like you know, but that's what's going on. So that also should be a testament to how fucking scared I am at this moment because I feel like I'm barely scraping by at this point. Like 2 lives is the minimum acceptable number of lives that I can have at this point in the game. And I'm going into the last part of level 5 with an axe and with like the lightning whip, so that should be fine. I actually wish I had the lightning spell for these guys, because these guys are pretty tricky. They really shoot their arrow. It's pretty hard to dodge those arrows, but you can do it, obviously, because I just did it. And actually, this would be a situation where the lightning spell would be really nice, because I have 40 fucking gems. That's another thing the Bloodlines does, actually, that's nice, which is that the existence of the lightning whip means that hoarding gems is good, because the cost is so high, like 8 gems per lightning shot. But I don't have it here, so I can't take advantage of it. This mini-boss is different on hard mode. As you're going to see in a moment here, he shoots out 3... Each of the projectiles has 3 of these little light particles in them instead of 2. Fortunately, the general strategy for this boss, which is to bait them to the left and then destroy one of the projectiles as it passes through the middle of the screen, still works just fine. So this is good. You do kind of have to be careful though to jump over that one and then make sure you respect that one by destroying it. But if you can just keep this pattern going over and over again, you will be fine. And I think I fuck it up at some point. Although I don't exactly remember. I mean, I hope I don't, because I think it should only be one more phase before it dies. The thing that you have to do there to be careful of is not jump too early, because there's a point where one of those lines is going to go above you when you want to start jumping and whipping the pillar. You just got to wait until it goes past you, then start jumping and whipping. So that's what's happening there. I wonder if I pick up the lightning spell for this boss. I do. Okay, interesting. Interesting. That's probably smart. I have so many gems, I could probably just not fight this boss at all and just spam lightning until it dies. Because it would be nice to go into level 6 with a lightning whip, although it's not... I mean, what would be really nice would be getting all the way into the death fight with the lightning whip. But that's kind of like I mean, that's being extremely hopeful. See, see, I don't know why I wasn't spamming the lightning spell there. I should have just been fucking like shooting that shit nonstop. That's kind of annoying that I wasn't doing that. Oh well. Probably doesn't make a difference. I was probably going to take damage at some point in level 6 anyway and lose the lightning whip to like the fucking, I don't know, the fucking robots in 6-4, or like to one of the balls on in the upside down room. I don't know. I don't know. But it would have been nice to at least like give myself a fucking chance. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I could have played that better. I don't know why the castle is like rainbow colored. I've also never heard of the Castle Proserpina. I think I've heard of every other place in this game, every other like landmark that Chad has to go to as part of his history class, but I've never heard of this place. Maybe it doesn't really exist, or maybe I'm just ignorant of my British history. My country has been independent from Great Britain for 300 years. I think I'm no longer obligated to give a shit about anything that has to do anything related to that country. You know what I mean? Yeah, this room... I don't really like this room. The fact that it is learnable, and the fact that it's like consistently doable is the only thing about it that makes me like not totally hate it, and not like... not completely decry it, I guess. This is also a room you really want the axe for, though, because like the axe just makes it so much easier to hit all these fucking Medusa heads as they come at you. And that room is the same on expert mode, but this room they actually made harder on expert mode because they added more of these glowing balls to a couple of the platforms, which is like, of all the rooms, man, like of all the rooms to make harder, you really had to make this one fucking even harder than it already is. Like this isn't obnoxious enough. I don't know, man. This is ridiculous that they made this harder, but there's a roadmap to success. You just have to be patient. You just gotta keep jumping with the right timing, and eventually you'll be okay. There, I get fucked up over and over again by these balls, and that's not great. Like I said, I am resigned to dying at least once in this level, but what I really want to do is get through death without dying. I really don't want to do the Death Boss Rush and Medusa and Dracula all in the same life bar. I have 63 fucking gems. This is, like, absurd. I really wish I knew what this Holy Water special attack does. It's kind of ridiculous to me that I never learned what it did. I really, that's kind of a mistake on my part. I really should have learned what it does, learned of that. This is an example of what I'm talking about. My strategy in this section is don't even wait until they show up on the screen, wait until you hear them, then shoot a sub-weapon in the direction you're facing and quickly turn around and whip. Please tell me, okay, thank you. I do what I was supposed to do there, which is just shoot the fucking sub-weapon as soon as I hear them coming. Now I have 50, I'm gonna have like over 50 gems going into the death fight, going into the boss rush, and I'm interested to see how many bosses I get through with the lightning whip, because I'm sure I don't get to death with the lightning whip. See, what I should be doing here is I should be doing the boss that I know I can do without taking, that I'm the most confident I can do without taking damage, which is not really this one. So I don't know why I picked it. I probably should have gone with the gear golem factory boss for it, unless I thought I could just like lightning spam to kill this guy. Well, let's see if it works out for me. I have a bad feeling I'm probably going to get hit by this guy at some point. But I like this idea. I like the idea of just spamming lightning and not even interacting with its mechanics at all. Because I have so many fucking gems. And now here comes the tricky part. Come on! Alright, okay, so go me. I actually played that correctly. Alright, I shouldn't have doubted myself. So that's one boss down with the lightning whip intact. I bet I probably lose it on the golem. On the, like, big tall guy on level 2. I bet I get clipped by a falling rock and I lose it to that guy. Let's find out if I'm right. It would be really sick if I could get through this guy with the lightning whip intact, because I'm sure I don't get to death with the lightning whip. This guy, yeah, I have to be careful. I have to not get too... I feel like I'm too close to him. Okay, well I guess I'm fine now, but that's sort of the thing about this guy that's tricky is not getting too close to him when he's like huge, and then correctly timing the whip when he gets small and like charges at you like that. Here, am I too close? No? Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, alright, I get through this guy without... Alright, this is pretty good. This is a pretty good boss rush. But I'm sure I'm going to lose it on the level 2 guy. But otherwise I played this pretty perfectly, because that is the one I would expect to lose it to, and I'm saving that guy for last. So this is actually... this is pretty smart. The reason that I really want the Lightning Whip for death is just so he dies faster. And so that I don't have to worry about... See, I should be spamming lightning here. As soon as his head becomes visible, I should start spamming the lightning spell. I have 35 fucking gems. I don't have to worry about my supply at all. Yep, fuck. I got clipped. God damn it. Oh well. That could have been a lot worse. I should be using the special attack for this boomerang. I shouldn't be using this like wimpy normal version of it. Because the special attack creates like a 3 boomerang, like a larger projectile pretty much. And I feel like if I was using that, I'd be hitting his head and his body at the same time. And now I take even more damage. So I now can only get hit by death like probably twice at most, which is really not what I'm looking for. But if I can kill death, I'm in good shape. If I can kill death, and then get to the Medusa fight, I'm pretty confident in my ability to do the Medusa fight without taking any damage, or with only taking like 3 damage, and then getting to the Dracula fight and killing him with good health. So the only wild card here, no pun intended, is can I kill death without dying? Can I kill death while only getting hit once? And I don't even have the axe right now. I have the fucking boomerang. So this is really, really tricky, and I don't really know how I get out of this. If I get out of it. Look at this shit, man. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, I needed to nail that there. I absolutely needed to nail that. Because I fucked that up in my normal route video. I like ducked and let him hit me. I didn't dodge that attack, but me hitting that right there was so fucking good. And was so fucking important. Because like the fact that death comes at the end of a boss rush, they gave the player a break and made it so that he takes a bunch of damage. You'll notice that one whip did like 4 damage to death. So you only have to hit him 5 times. So that was fucking great. Now, what would be really sick is if I could get through the Medusa fight without dying. Because that means that I could get to Dracula. I basically have 2 shots at the Dracula fight, which would be really sick here. All I have to do is dodge. If I can dodge this tail, then I think I'm good. Okay, alright. I should be fine. Unless I seriously fuck up the... I shouldn't fuck up Phase 2. There's really no reason for me to fuck up. Oh my god, I get hit by that? Okay, that's so dumb. I forgot. So the way that you're supposed to dodge both of her first 2 attacks is by ducking and getting super close to her, but like with that second attack, the Fire Whip, if you're too close to her, she actually can't hit you with the claw. And I think that was the moment when I learned that. Because I don't think I'd ever gotten that close to her before. God damn it. Well, okay, this is still doable. Because now it's like smooth sailing, now I just have to not fuck up. I mean, the whole game is you just have to not fuck up, but here, it's way harder for me to fuck up. Because I only have to do this 5 times. Interesting thing to note about this, in my last commentary I was a little bit confused about who this lady is. I looked up the storyline again, and it turns out this actually is Chad's girlfriend that Dracula kidnapped. And then, like, turned her evil. He didn't turn her into a monster. She was always a monster, but then he like turned her evil. And I don't think that this fight is supposed to be literally happening. I think it's like Chad's not literally beating the shit out of his girlfriend here. I think it's supposed to be like a metaphorical for their conflict. It's like a visual representation of it. So this part is sort of a storytelling device. It's not a literal physical event. That's probably why it's so easy. But the last fight with Dracula is very, very real and is much more difficult. But as I said in my last video, I do think this goes on for too long. This is not boring to play, because when you're playing it, your fucking heart is in your throat, because you don't want to like take damage before you get to Dracula. But watching it back here, I don't really have anything to say, because it's just the same thing. It's kind of just the same thing over and over again. And if I had the lightning whip here, this would take take less time. I'd have to do one fewer cycle. Because although she had 1 health at the end there, but the lightning whip means that like she only takes damage at the end of each of those cycles. Having the lightning whip there would mean she'd like take more damage per cycle. I'm doing a little dance at the edge of the screen again, waiting for the screen to move. And now I'm going into Dracula with 1 HP, and I think I had it in my head at this point that it'd be fucking sick if I got like a no damage Dracula kill. And like killed him with like this one last sliver of health, which I don't think happens. I think I would remember if I did that. I think I die at some point in this fight, but I wanted to go for it anyway, because, you know, hey, getting to him with 2 lives means you have 2 chances. Like, I might as well take the first chance that I get, even if the chance is very, very small. So, might as well go for it, right? And the phase that I'm worried about with Dracula is phase 1. If I just get the timing down, I'm good. Phase 2 is when you can take damage pretty easily, and then phase 3, specifically phase 2 of phase 3, and then phase 3 of phase 3 is when it gets really really hairy. Because phase 3 of phase 3 is easy, but it's not easy if you're 1 hit away from death, as I am here. Alright, so I get through phase 1 without taking damage. Do I get through phase 2? This is a weird phase of Dracula. He doesn't really like ever turn into a magician at any other point in the games that I've played. He turns into kind of like a weird ghost in Simon's Quest. I wonder if that's what this is a reference to. Here I'm making sure to use the axe because I have so many gems. It's just safer. I almost get hit there. That's pretty fucking scary. Okay, phase 2 without taking any damage. I don't get this. I take damage at some point in phase 3, I just don't remember when. I'm gonna guess it's phase 2. I'm guessing I fuck up the fire shots in phase 2 and I get hit. Phase 1 is pretty easy once you get like this rhythm down. But if you can corral him into the corner, then phase 1 is fine. Phase 2 is still hard even if you have him cornered, because the timing on jumping over his fire attacks is very tricky. You have to wait until, like, as soon as it starts moving. Yeah, I fucked that up. See, I was too close to him there. I should have backed up more. Oh well. I probably would have taken damage on phase 3 anyway. I lose the axe. Okay, I'm gonna go back and get that, because I need the axe for the Dracula fight. Because you need it to control him in phase 2. And to get important extra damage on him in phase 3. Unfortunately, like every other Dracula fight, you can go up and down the stairs, keep respawning the gems. I want more than 8 because I'm gonna have to hit him with a lot of axes. 15 is fine. I really don't need more than 15. Okay, good. I'm just gonna go right back up. Grab the 5 gem drop again. It's just like a Legend of Zelda where a blue gem is worth 5. Alright. So now I said in previous videos that like the Dracula fight is pretty scary, but like if you go into the Dracula fight with full health and with like the level of familiarity that I have here, I'm not that worried. At this point I feel pretty safe. I wish I had more advice for like this first phase, but it really does just come down to like I think it's like you jump as soon as he shows up. And then you whip when you start. You have to like falling whip onto him. And then with this phase 2, that like fireball attack he does where the fireballs like go across the ground is actually pretty tricky to dodge, so I would generally recommend trying to kill him before he can get the second one of those attacks off. When he does this shit, he's pretty easy to hit. And as you can see, I can actually hit him with like the whip there. Yeah, he'll finish that attack even after he hits 0 life. If he hits 0 life in the middle of it. Now Phase 3. Phase 3 Part 2. Phase 3 Second Shot. I like the fact that Dracula has 3 phases. This is the first time since Dracula's Curse that that's happened. And I like that he turns into a big, silly monster like he does in previous games. That was one of my complaints about 4, that he doesn't really do that. I don't really like the design of Dracula Phase 3. I've never really liked the... It's that Japanese thing where they like having monsters that have like faces all over them. I've never really liked that. Yeah, he's only doing 3 damage to me with this fire attack. That's pretty generous. Another nice thing about throwing the axe here is that the axe hits all those bones, which makes the game lag, which makes it easier to like react to him and to what he's doing. It's kind of like shooting lightning in A2 in Dracula's Curse, where it's like the game slows down, so it's easier to do. I don't know, maybe you could call that like an exploit or something, but it's like, fuck it, who cares? Alright, Dracula's no more. I scrape by the skin of my fucking teeth. Last life. But hey, fuck it, a 1cc is a 1cc, and this is a game where I will say that with absolutely 0 caveats. This game is pretty fucking hard. It's got some tricky, like, jumps, and it's got some super tricky, it's got some really tricky combat sections, too, and that's always what I talk about when I talk about, things about these games that I enjoy, is I enjoy combat challenges more than platforming. This one has both, without any platforming sections getting like as obnoxious as some parts in 4. And when you beat expert mode, you get this nice little extra bit here. I don't know what this last thing is supposed to imply. I guess that he's going to keep on fighting vampires. Maybe there are more vampires in this universe. Maybe when he goes off to college, there'll be like vampires in college. And I'm not just talking about the teachers, but I'm ha 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 ha. Anyway, pretty fun. This game, just generally speaking. I kind of already gave my summarizing feelings about this in my last video. Talk about expert mode. I like expert mode. I think expert mode, I do kind of have mixed feelings about removing the heal from the death fight and making you do like that whole level with no healing at all. That feels a little bit much, and I'm not really talking about the boss fights necessarily, because all the boss fights, with like the possible exception of the golem, are like, it's just about learning their patterns. Like the only thing that's wrong with the golem is that like it's kind of easy to get clipped by the falling rocks, and that way it's kind of like the boss of level 4 from Super Castlevania 4. My problem, honestly, is with like the chip damage you take from the Upside Down room, because like the Upside Down room is just a gimmick. Like it's a gimmick, and it's like it's fucking with your ability to see, and like I've said before, and I'll say it again, there's nothing fun about not being able to see what the fuck you're doing. I don't really like it. I think if that was not in the game, if that was taken out, then I would not actually have a problem with level 6 having no healing, because at that point it's just about doing the boss fights correctly. And all the boss fights, with maybe the exception of Death is a little bit tricky too, because like it's about dodging his projectiles, and dodging his projectiles is kind of like, I don't know, it's really fucking hard to dodge his projectiles. But again, like he does the go in the corner thing really soon in the fight, which is where you could get a bunch of damage in on him. So I think if it was just the Upside Down room was taken out, I would have no problem with that. But the fact that that's there means that like it's just so easy to take damage from those little orbs. It's so easy to like fuck that part up. That's the only part that doesn't really have like a clear roadmap where the rest of the level does. But otherwise, expert mode, I think it's great. I don't have a problem with it. I also think that the ghosts in 4.6 are kind of dumb, because you kind of can't... avoid taking damage from them. I am Master of the Vampire Killer. Hope you guys enjoyed. More Bloodline stuff coming soon. Good times were had by all.